Hi, welcome to Tanya's Beauty Box, and I am Tanya. I am going to do a video that I promised in my last video when I showed you my small haul of some ABH and a Dose of Colors palette. I wanted to do a battle of sorts like I did with another Dose of Colors palette, but I battled that against a Victoria Beckham eye wardrobe, which is a quad. So we're going to do that. I got my trusty mirror on. Let me see. Pick my, not the intensity. Okay. Let me just calm that down so I can see what the heck going on. So we're going to do that now today. Cold and refreshing. My Coke is not cold yet, so I had to opt for the fruit punch. But let's get started so we don't have a long drawn out video like I usually do. Although that haul video was, what, less than 30 minutes, I think? I can't remember, but I know it wasn't definitely an hour, so I'm getting better. Let's get started. So, we're going to start with an oldie but goodie. This is from Mary Kay. This is the Vanilla Berry Lip Balm. I'm not sure if this particular flavor is still sold, but I know they still sell the lip balms. So check out your Mary Kay rep, eBay, or Mercari. Yes. You want to get back to your lip balm. Now this is not like that Clinique lip balm that I put on the other day. That was kind of thick, and it's also that Fenty Plush Pudding Lip Mask. That was a little thick. This has a little bit more slip or glide to it. So it's not as thick of a consistency. Next, take the glasses off so we can't see a dang thing. And the next thing we're going to do is put on our, we're going to mist our face with this Mana Kadar Hydrating Face Mist. Okay. This came from Ipsy Bag. Smells good to me. It does have a scent, so if you don't like scents, you're not gonna like it. I just want to mist my face because I'm gonna be putting on a jelly primer. I put all this stuff in here, and I know where it should be. This, I used this in a previous video that got corrupted, so I'm going to use it again. This is the, I believe it got corrupted. I can't remember what I used in different videos. I'm trying not to use the same products over and over again until I get through the majority of the new stuff I got, and then I can use products that I really enjoy. Not to say I don't enjoy this, I just haven't used it enough to have it as a favorite of sorts. But this is the e.l.f. Jelly Power Group Primer. This is the one that has niacinamide, so it's pink. The other one is green, like the milk primer that is supposed to be the dupe of. I just wanted to do that to make my skin a little bit more softer, a little bit more ready to receive the product. This has a pump, as you can see, and this has more of a jelly-like consistency than that Fenty that I used. That didn't have any type of grip to it, although it does tout itself as a gripping primer. It was more of a, they're both gels, but this one, that Fenty, kind of like when you spray it on your face, it just glides over the face. This has some not give to it, some stick to it. Some tackiness. So like, it's like when you put it, it doesn't necessarily like spread easily, which is why I'm using more, because I didn't get it I didn't get it nowhere. It kind of like ended up where I initially placed it. So with that other one from Fenty, yeah, that sucker there, it's just like smooth all over the place. This one here, kind of where you put it, it kind of stays and sticks. So it does grip. Yep. Okay. Letting that cool down, not cool down, calm down. So next, get this stuff out so I can not be scrambling for it. I found this at a Dollar Tree recently. I did this in another haul video, but that was probably in December or so. Yeah, probably in December, November, December. Julia from Accessorize Your Life found this in her Dollar Tree. She's not in my same state or city. So, there's no guarantee that I would have found it in mine. But lo and behold, this is the last one that was left in my Dollar Tree. This does say that it's for medium to deep. I thought me and Julia were shade twins. If you go back to my Lawless Foundation video, you'll find out that we are not. So I was like, okay, but I got this before I got the Lawless. So ain't no point in taking this back to the Dollar Tree. So I hope that this will work for me, even though we're not shade twins, and she was able to use this effortlessly. This is the Perfector 4-in-1 Instant Age Rewind, and I do like that particular line from Maybelline. The Whipped Matte Makeup. It has a primer, powder, concealer, and BB cream in it. And I'm doing this for a reason. This is not going to be my final foundation, so to speak. I'm going to use this as like a little cocktail. I don't believe there's any point in shaking this. It says apply with the fingers all over the face. That's not going to happen. I don't mind applying things with my fingers. However, I would prefer, rather than my fingers, to use a sponge. And I did not bring like an actual beauty blender-esque. Not necessarily a beauty blender, because I don't think I've ever had one of those. But I usually get the Real Techniques, the orange one with the little slant. And I could have sworn, do you remember the one that was like silicone? No, it was still that spongy material, but it had like a silicone top to it on the angled edge that was supposed to mimic your fingertip. I could have sworn I bought one of those. But see, this is the problem when you buy too much crap. If you don't use it immediately, and even sometimes when you do use it, it tends to disappear into the abyss of all the crap you got. So I may or may not have that. I could have sworn I bought it, but probably not. I don't know. But I would prefer to have used something like that. So it has a little bitty hole to get the stuff out of. We're going to use our trusty LYS brush that I always use for all my foundation products lately. I'm going to pour a little bit. Ooh, see, it's coming out. And then like, yeah. Ooh, yeah. So it's a mousse. And the color looks okay. I'm not even sure if they still produce this or not. It has like a regular foundation smell to it. It fell off. Oh my God. Which is probably why they want you to put it on with a brush. I mean, with your fingers, because it's not going to like go into the brush. So I picked it up off the table. Maybe I'm gonna have to at least put it on with my fingers, but spread it with the brush. So it doesn't feel wet, hydrating, or anything like that. What I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna put as much on the brush, but I'm gonna put it back on the brush and then just put it on the skin immediately. Versus what I did do was kind of look at it, but I just wanted to get an idea what the consistency was and show you guys. But yeah. Now, coverage. I don't think it's gonna give coverage. I think I'm what and what I'm using it for is what I thought in the first place. Which I'm going to use an actual foundation on top of this, was to use it as more of a skin tint or a base, so that I don't have to use as much foundation, since it's supposed to be a BB cream, a concealer, and a primer as well. So let's see. I want to drop this one, smash it on my forehead. I also have my laptop open to the camera, even though the sucker don't work. But I have a bigger screen to see exactly what I'm doing, because, like I said, I can't see nothing in the camera. My phone is so far away. Probably not far away for you guys, but it's far enough away from me that I really can't see any like detail of what's happening. So I can see, I got 3 different versions right in my face, a nice distance away, and then further away. So I'm getting like 3 angles of views of what I'm doing. So in one of my other videos, I used that Danessa Myricks blurring balm powder. So I'm kind of using it like using this particular product like that, just to like more of an evening out of the skin. I'm gonna take a little bit on the finger. Hope it don't fall off. I'm gonna put it over a dark spot, like right here. So like if you wanted to like put it in like spot correct or conceal a little bit, so it didn't take it away, it lessened it. It's moussey, of course, and it glides, but it's not really. This would probably be a good product for a teen, young teen into maybe mid-20s, if you don't have any real skin issues and you have possibly combination skin. Not maybe oily, but maybe combination skin, or maybe even normal. For dry, I have normal to dry skin, and yeah, this isn't really it's not drying, but it's not very moisturizing either. Now this will be like a concealer, and it didn't really do anything for that under eye circle. I could tell there's something under there, but it's not doing anything to lessen it. So, for $1.25, fine. Anything more, like it's probably its regular, what they call it, manufacturer's suggested retail price. This probably at the time sold for maybe $7 to $10. I do not think it's worth $7 to $10 if it's still on the market. I would say pass. If you can find it in the Dollar Tree or on deep discount, maybe a Big Lots. If you still have Big Lots, they closed the Big Lots in my area. And it's cheap, probably no more than $2. $3 max. Okay. But just to straight out buy regular sales price, no. So that would be something I wouldn't wear on its own. I mean, I could then put a powder. Maybe not. I mean, it doesn't really need a powder, but it seems like something you wear to go and run an errand to real quick. You just want to put something on your face. Like I said, a preteen, maybe into 2021, fairly good skin, maybe combination, maybe a tad bit oily. You can get away with it. Dry skin, you're gonna, yeah, you're gonna see it. So you're gonna have to like really moisturize, which I did not. I just used that moisturizing face mist, that hydrating face mist. But dry skin, you're gonna have to really moisturize because it is kind of sitting on top of my face. And I think if you have natural oils in your skin, that the formula would work very well together. I'm wipe my mirror off because it's kind of dirty. Okay, now what we're gonna use for foundation is the Tint Idol Ultra Wear Stick, and I showed it to you, but I did not use this. This is in the number 510 Suede in the USA and number 10 Praline International. I really hate that the packaging is nice, but you can't really show it because, well, not I can't because of the glare. Now, Amber Pashalak from Amber Pashalak's Pashalak. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it was one of her lives, and she had mentioned that this particular foundation was one of her favorites, but she believed that they either discontinued it or reformulated it. So I thought, oh, because I had just bought it, and I said, oh yeah, I got that. I just bought it. She said, oh, I didn't know that. So she went online and found it. She said it looks exactly the same, and the colors look exactly the same. So I don't know if it's been reformulated, but she's gonna try it. I'm gonna try it out. And I think she said she's gonna buy another one because she's been using the one she has very sparingly because she really likes it. But this one is, of course, a foundation stick, which is cool. And the reason why I put on the Maybelline thing is so I won't have to use so much of this, because another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on, and we're also going to use spray to help it glide better over the skin. Now I'm going to try it without the spray first to see how it glides. If I don't need to spray it to make it move, then I won't. The other thing it has on here at the bottom is this crazy little brush. This is a brush, y'all. Now, what they expect you to do, maybe under the eye, but there's no way, unless you're like spot putting on foundation, because, yeah, that's not going to do anything. So that's my color. That's 510 Suede. Does smell like an actual foundation stick. So we're going to put some on. Dot, dot, dot. It seems to, yeah, it's not like I'm just touching my face and it's coming off. I don't feel like I need to drag. It's like dotted around. Okay. That should be enough. Okay. Put the lid back on to keep it from, drying out. So we're going to try on my right side to see how it blends out. It seems to blend pretty well without any additional help like that, like a spray, or like, I would say moisturize well. That helps with anything though, to help things move around for application purposes. And then we're going to take the spray. Where did I put it? Okay. I'm going to spray just the left side. I'm going to see if that helps it. Okay. It's helping it apply better. It's also shearing it out a little bit. So, say you didn't want to, it doesn't feel cakey or anything. It feels lightweight. I don't feel it on the face. Say you didn't want to use a sponge, but you wanted you don't need all that coverage that particular day. Spray your face and then use your brush. And that'll help shear it out a little bit. Can you tell a difference from one side to the other? I think it's a little bit more. I think had I used a sponge, I'm gonna put a little bit more. Because it did shear it out, like on that dark spot that I attempted to use that Maybelline stuff on to cover a little bit. And I don't mind that kind of stuff showing, just for the intents and purposes of this particular demonstration. So that took it down a little bit. And make sure you're always getting your hairline. All right. So I like this. That's a nice little situation there. Let's see, is it for all skin types? Suitable for sensitive skin. It's supposed to be a 24-hour wear, comfort wear. Now, I'm going to go way back in the day. I'll show you two things that I tend to use here. Okay. I found it upon first dip into the cart, little carry-on there. All right. This is Julep. Do y'all remember Julep? They were the nail polish people. The mavens. I used to be a Julep maven. And then they expanded out to color cosmetics, complexion, and they had a great lip gloss formula. I hate they don't have it anymore, but now they only sell, they don't do nail polishes anymore. And then they only sell skincare stuff, I think. And maybe like an eyeliner, I don't know. But this is their Cushion Complexion 5-in-1 Skin Perfector with turmeric. This sucker is old as molasses. Okay. Then from Defunct Becca, who Smashbox bought, but they did not bring back this particular product, and then Smashbox is going bankrupt or being sold or something, whatever. This is Becca's Light Shifter Brightening Concealer in the shade Galactica. Ain't no point trying to show you that because it's like silver on white. And it's the light shifter, and it's a brightening concealer. Again, this is a Cushion Complexion 5-in-1, kind of like that Maybelline thing. That's the shade of it. And this shade is called Mocha. I'll try to show you that. But, oh, and that's the color of the Galactica. Okay, so they both had those little cushiony things on top, but dagnabbit. Yes, try. I dropped something again, but this time I'm not going to get distracted, I don't think. It had like the little cushiony ball thing on there, but I took it off because it's so old, it was starting to disintegrate. So it's gone now. So that one looks okay. It's their applicator without it. But this one also had it, but that's how theirs was coming out. Okay? I'm not going to drop that one. So we're going to try the Mocha up under the eye. And again, I typically try, whoop, there you go. And because it don't have that little ball for it to go up into and dispense, I'm going to be, and it's coming off the sides too. So maybe come out the sides and out the top. Okay, I'm going to put some under the eye. So you don't have to like throw stuff away because, you know, it, like a certain component of it stopped working. Take the little ball off and keep moving. Plus, I don't mind that applicator. We're going to take our LYS favorite brush for concealer. And we're going to, I like that, I always like that Julep. I don't really remember using the Becca one now that much, but they were sitting next to each other. So I said, why not? But look at that. That lift. The freaking I'm gonna have to get online and see if I can find. eBay is my friend. And try eBay, maybe even Macari, which I doubt anybody is running around with julep on Macari, but yeah, I don't know why they stopped selling that. That is a great color, great coverage, easy to apply. Now I'm gonna try the Becca. If it come out. Unless I use, okay, this don't want to come out. Oh, there we go. I'll get to, okay. And this is in Galactica. So it's a little lighter and cooler. Or maybe even more neutral than the julep. And because that julep's tip was kind of smooth and rounded, it felt better putting it on too. All right, so, and then Becca had that under eye brightener. I tried that, but I didn't like the way it looked. Now I do prefer that julep. I should put them on both at the same time so you can see. But as you can see, this is a little lighter. That was more in line with my skin tone. And this and the other one had a little bit better coverage than this one. This is more, they're both kind of like serum-y. But this is supposed to be actual concealer. And it is supposed to be lightening. But the coverage on this side is much better. And maybe I should have waited for it to dry down a little bit. The last time I did it with that, what was that? It's the Cover FX. That's like I didn't want to, was the Cover FX didn't want to move? I learned my lesson, so maybe I jumped the gun on this one, maybe. So I might put a little bit more to try to get some. Yeah, I'm gonna put a little bit more. I'm gonna let it sit for a moment. And then I'm gonna try to spread it out again because I wanna give it the same chance that I gave the julep. Let me turn on my light. I don't know why they do that in the first place. Okay, now we're gonna, I wiped it off again and get some of that excess product. And so the bristles wouldn't be all jacked up. And then we're gonna just lightly tap where I think I need the extra coverage. And we're always gonna go up and along an angle along the eye there for a lifting effect out to the temple. So I'm not, before on this side I was kind of like swiping. With this one I think I kind of do a little more of a patting motion with it. So it doesn't remove the product as much. But even on the second application, it's like caking up right up under the lash line. Try to get in that inner corner for some lightness. But yeah, so yeah, you can find the julep one and you can find a color you like, get it. It was nice with the little spongy ball attachment, but it's okay without it because yeah, look at the tip there. The tip almost looks like it didn't have nothing on there in the first place, like that was the actual applicator. All right, next we're gonna try our Fenty Brightening Under Eye Concealer. This is in Cinnamon. Brought this back out. Brush again. Guess I'll use the little powder puff, see what I get with that. Again, at an angle. Toward the temple. And okay, it's getting wet. I don't want it to, what you call it, get hard pan. I'm gonna use this brush to smooth that out though, because I think my eye was watery. I don't want it like bunched up, cake up under my eye. It doesn't, I will say, I'm not sure if it's the julep product, but it looks a little dry under the eye, so moisturize, moisturize, moisturize. We're going to take the same situation, use the other side, got the powder under the eye at an angle, in the inner corner. Let's see if it looks dry and cakey on this side. Maybe it's the powder, because it looks dry on the other side. But again, I did not put any eye cream on, so that might be an issue. Everything goes together. Every layer helps, I think. So had I put on eye cream, the eye would have been more moisturized, and the products, I don't want to say sit on top, but they kind of want to meld it together. Okay. Next, we're going to do powder. Now, the powder I'm going to use is not going to be your traditional powder. Let's use this brush. This is my Tarte The Buffer Foundation Airbrush Finish Bamboo Foundation Brush. I got this in that, no I didn't. I got this in that 7 for 63 whatever deal they had. But the powder I'm going to use is my Anastasia powder bronzer in mahogany. A powder bronzer, you say? Well, I've yet to meet a bronzer that bronzes me. This is my freaking skin tone. It's not bronzing nothing. So we're just going to use that as powder. It does kick up. I think they still make this if you're interested. Brush feels really good. Feels really good. I can see why people like it. This is like a cult favorite, and that's why I picked it. People really like this brush, and I can see why. It's really nice. Next, we're gonna take another Tarte brush, but this is from that Sugar Rush line. This is some kind of, and they don't tell me what it is. When I bought it, they told me what it was, but I don't remember what it was. Yes, but I also, this came from like the Fenty Takeover Icon boxes made me get the Icon box that time. And this is the Fenty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Setting Powder, but it's in coffee. For some reason, I always thought I was darker than I am. So I thought this is the right color. Too dark. But, and I never could figure out what, I was going to give it away. But I kept it for whatever reason. I never could, oh, that's cute. Look at that. I never could figure out what to do with it. But since I don't contour, I said, well, today I'll try to use it as a contour. This is so much darker than my actual skin tone. So I'm gonna get a little bit, I'll knock it off in the cap. A lot came off of there. So that what's called Bare Mineral Swirl Tap Swirl Brush, or whatever. You remember? I want to say tap swirl, but swirl tap, but so I'm gonna try that to see if this does anything. I see something. Got a scent to it. Not bad, kind of cake like. Get a little bit more tap off. Ooh. Let me see. I see it. You see it? Do you like it? I don't know if I like it. Maybe just the wrong brush. I'll try to buff it out a little bit. Buff it out a little bit. But I see it, so that's a lot of product for something I don't use regularly. But I can see it being great as a setting powder. This is a lot of powder. I should have got, I think they got one called nutmeg or hazelnut or something like that. I think I should have got one of those, but I thought I was darker. And then when you look at online, you really can't tell what the color look like, no way. So it messed me up. Now it's time for blush. For blush, I have something that I'm fairly sure you can't get anymore. And I didn't pick it because of that. I was just like at a loss. I couldn't get, well I could have if I would have took time, but I couldn't get to my other blushes or whatever. But the color scheme I'm going to use, I couldn't really think of a great blush color to use. So I opted for, this is old as dirt. This is the NYX ombre blush. You probably don't remember this. This is called Nude to me. And do you remember these? This one looks more like a bronzer highlighter, but the color is very nice. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab a brush and eventually I think the whole thing worked against me. Okay, we're gonna use the brush, blush brush here. Turn this at an angle so I can cover my face. We're gonna go down into the bottom part of this. I'm gonna hope it shows up because I did not bring another blush in here. So, okay. So it's more or less just a glow. I didn't want to, because of the color scheme of the shadow, I didn't want to, not do a little bit of clown-like. And I love blush and I don't really care about stuff like that because I like color. But I wanted it to make sense, you know? So this is a very subtle blush. It's a there, not there. It's a nude to me blush. And we're not going to put that much on because as you can see, it does have a glow to it. Now I do want to build it up so you can see something on the actual cheek. But it's nice and subtle. Nice and subtle. Now, I'm also going to bring out an oldie but goodie. And I know they don't sell this anymore, so you would have to go online and try to find it. They still sell the most popular, well, they probably don't because they are out of business, but another Becca product, a little spaceship disc. But this is their Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed. And this is in Topaz. Remember that? The most popular one was that Champagne Pop. And we're not going to say her name. That she created with them. But and it looks like you want to crack. Which it did. It better not fall out of here. This is Topaz. But Champagne Pop did not work for me. I know some women of color, my complexion, did use it, but it wasn't gonna work. Not for me. This is a Luxie 640 Pro Precision tapered brush. I thought this would be good because I don't really like highlighter all that much. I like to wear it too much or have too much on. And this is a nice big fluffy situation. Tap it off. I'm going to hit the high points with that topaz. So it's like a there, barely there type situation. Just to do all the things. Because I don't always do all the things. And then, you know, I do all the things sometimes. Now, there, not there. Let's get on to the star of the show. And that's going to be these eye products. Now, I'm not sure if this brand is still available. It was a big player in Ipsy boxes and bags and whatnot. And I know I put it in here because I ain't crazy. I swear. Okay. You guys remember this brand? Transluce. This is an eyeshadow primer in the shade Deep, and they call it the Preparo. This is going to be like that Floyd Roberts concealer eyeshadow base thing that I did not like as a concealer and I thought was okay as an eyeshadow base. But we're going to use this because it is a base. It's an eyeshadow base. It's creamier than that Floyd Roberts, considering Floyd Roberts was just produced, and I've had this for quite a minute. I don't know if the Floyd Roberts is supposed to be that dry, but this is still creamy. So, unlike the Floyd Roberts, this one is not my actual skin tone. So it doesn't like melt into the skin tone. Like I wouldn't like wear this just out, the Floyd Roberts one. I wouldn't mind just wearing out with maybe like even a translucent powder over the top of that. But this one I would definitely need to put a skin tone shadow over. Okay. Now we have our brushes. Let's get into, put this in here, get this stuff out the way, these shadows. So what we're going to do today, we're going to do a battle of our Lancome Quint and our Dose of Colors Quint. The Dose of Colors Quint is called Cutting Edge. I just showed that to you in a previous video. And this Lancome Hypnose palette is in Bronze Absolute, number 17, which you probably can't see because shiny, shiny. Now, online, this looked perfect. I didn't get this one engraved, though. It looked perfect. Now, it had 5 shades. 2 of the shades, I was like, but the 3 shades to the right, well, the 3 last shades, I was like, I can work with that. I can work with that. But when I got it, this is the shade. Now, had it looked like that, I wouldn't have purchased it. Because it's just too light for me. But when I looked at it online, starting with that olive green color, going back, those were nice, deep, and rich looking colors online. Has the traditional 2 little brushes there, and the eye tutorial at the top. I'll take the brushes out. I'm not going to drop them this time. Then we're going to look at our cutting edge. cutting edge. And then the quints from Lancome don't have shade names. These are the shade names. Okay. This also has a little brush. However, it is flimsy. And that is the color story. Get rid of the brush so you can look at the color story a little bit better. So these are the closest to maybe not. What was I thinking? Maybe these seem to have a pink undertone. Pink or purple. And this certainly does not. But that's what I got out here. So should I just do one? I wish it was like a live because I could just say, should I do one eye each or just one eye per one palette? Let me just do one palette. But we're going to do what we said we're going to do. Breaking my nails, man. Got my trusty brushes. Okay. So we're going to try to find, see, neither one really has a transition color. We're going to use this LIS brush for once instead of that regular Ultra Ego. And you're going to be able to see, and this is the thing. So they're not similar. You're going to be able to tell. Oh well. I'll just have two separate eye looks. I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying home. It's a nice Sunday. And make some chili. My son mentioned that I should make chili. So I took the ingredients out. And when I'm done with this, I'll be in the kitchen making chili. What's your winter comfort food? That's not necessarily mine. I don't even think it's his. I just think, what did I make instead of chili? I think one day I had took the ground beef out when I ended up making tacos. He's like, you still made some chili, it's the winter. So I got some more ground beef, some more chili fixings, and I'm going to make a pot of chili. This brush is very nice and soft, and you can see nice color payoff. I'm scared to go in the inner corner though because my eye is watering and I don't want that. You know, when it's wet, it kind of like gets patchy and then it gets a little darker than the color was in the first place. I got tons of eyeshadow brushes, but I didn't go get a bunch of them so I could use separate ones per. And what can I wear that's close to that? Bump it. Yeah, you're going to be able to tell. And I'm not going to show you the palettes again. So if you don't remember what they look like. Oh, Lord help me. Now that's, yeah. Oh, no, they don't look like it. I'm taking this all the way up to the brow bone because that's where I probably should have, where it belongs anyway. I just picked the wrong color. Definitely. But again, I don't know why I thought they were, maybe because they got green tones. But this is like killing two birds with one stone. Get ready with me and then using two separate eyeshadow palettes, and then I can just use them whenever I feel like because I've already used them in a video. And there we go. Next, let's kick up in both. More so in a dose of colors one. Now, let's go into, we're going to go into a shader. Got to. We're going to take that Ultra Ego brush though, number 8. And we're going to go into the ones that are most comparable to each other. I like that. I love that shade of green. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Do you love it? And it's applying so well. So well. It's gliding. It's gliding. And it's nice and opaque. And I'm not dipping in because I need to. I'm dipping in because I want to, because I'm enjoying applying this to my eye. That's beautiful. Now let's go into the other one. See if I like that particular green. They're not the same tone of green, but nonetheless, okay. This definitely is not the same. Oh my goodness. So the battle is a fail, but we are using my products. I'm getting through my products. So this definitely is a lighter tone, more of a greeny gold, and much more subtle, but that's because of the shade, not the opacity. Like I say, had I known it was gonna come looking like this, and I might have just given, yeah. It's a nice shade though. Like if you had like more summery, and what I should have done was instead of maybe incorporate both together. That's what I should have done. Let me say hindsight is 2020. Now I'm not enjoying this application as much as I enjoyed the other lid shade. And that might just be because of the lightness of it. Now, that's kicking up. Next, we're going to go into still another shade, using the same shader brush. We're going to put this on the center of the eye. And just sweep it back and forth. So it's kind of like a little fake halo situation, where you have the lightness in the middle of the eyelid. And then I'm going to go back into the first color and deepen that up. It seems a little creamier than the other palette. Definitely more bolder. Yeah. Next, let's get into, oh my goodness. This is the Ipsy Pantone all over shadow brush. We're gonna go into on the other eye. We're gonna go into the crease. Try to build up some depth. The eye is, this is gonna be someone's traditional work eye. And they'll think that this is too dark. To me, this is a little too subtle. More subtle than I traditionally wear. I wear glasses. I'm darker complexion. So I need stuff that's going to come from behind my glasses and announce itself. Otherwise, what's the purpose? So that's giving some depth to the eye. Yeah, that's going to be a very, yeah. Here's this. We're going to use this other LYS brush, which is the baby sister of the other one. And we're going to go in back into the crease to give a little bit more depth there. And it's nice, but this is something that is like, I could see a preteen, well, someone that doesn't like to wear heavy, bold makeup. This is a perfect palette for them. Because they can bring some drama to it with this color I'm putting on now. Or they could have left it alone with the color I put on before. Just to get some depth. See, like for me, I know it's there. You know it's there because you see me putting it on. It has a hint of color, but not much. We're going to take that same brush, wipe it off. We're going to go in for the other eye. And we're going to put this in the crease. And bring it over. So my right eye is going to be my favorite off top. I'm just angling it, like shaping it a little bit to flatter my eye shape a little bit better. Okay. Now I'm going to take a brush that doesn't have anything on it. The number 3 alter ego. I'm going to wipe it off again just to make sure it doesn't have anything on it. And I'm going to use it to blend out the colors so they're not so stark. And I have from that middle eye shade, I got fallout under the eye, but not from the original shade that I put on the first lid shade. Let's do. And I really don't need to do that on this side because they kind of like blended together. It's a there, not there look. I'm not into there, not. I mean, there's a trend. There, not there. When you know you got something on, but you can't really tell. I'm gonna, did I use that color? I don't think I used that color, but I'm gonna put some more of that original color on just to get down in that area there. And then I'm gonna go back into the other color, first transition shade. And then I'm going to go back into the one we used for depth, more depth. I'm going to try to carve it out a little bit more too. Maybe if I change the eye shape a little bit. And then when by using those different colors, to lighter to darker, I can see it a little bit better now. All right, so done with that. I already told you what side I like the best would be the right side. And those are the eye looks. Which side is the dose? Which side is the Lancome? I'm not going to show you again. Because if I show you the color story again, you'll be able to tell right off the bat. Now, we're going to use our eyeliner, oldie but goodie, the Clinique Pretty Please liquid eyelining pen. This is in black. I like it because it's a nice black And it has not a felt tip, but a brush tip. I like brush tips better. Okay. And it gives you a nice line. It's not as easy as that Maybelline Curvature, but for application, because Curvature already is bent, so you just kind of go boop, boop. So if I want to do a wing, then I have to angle my wrist. And fill it in, and elongate it a little bit. Elongate it more than I want it. The Curvature just gives you a little bit more this is user error because I haven't used this in quite a while. Curvature just gives you a little bit more precision, ease. What I should have did was I found out if I start out with my wing first, the application is better. The wing is better. I gotta bring it up because I put the other side out and I don't have anything like eye makeup remover to fix the wing. So this wing is better than the other wing. I say too fast. Okay. Yeah, I did it. I did. I need a Q-tip. See, that's, okay. I'm not gonna keep messing with that. But this is a good liner if you are adept at liquid liner. I just prefer the brush. It just, I don't know, it's just something about it. It's a little bit better to me than, I will use a felt tip, but I just prefer the brush tip. And Clinique is one of those few ones that offer the brush tip. Okay, next we're gonna do mascara. So for mascara, we're gonna give that Lancome Curl Goddess. Is that what it's called? The Curl Goddess. Another try. We're gonna use the Sales Booster on one side as usual. No, I think I did. I can't remember if I did that or not. So this is the Curl Goddess. I showed this to you. I can't remember what video it was. So this is the Curl Goddess. This is their newest mascara. I like the brush. It's not as curved as a traditional curved brush, and the bristles like spiral around the brush. So right side is going to be straight mascara. Left side is going to be lash primer and mascara. I mean, it's a nice mascara. Like I said before, I prefer a more wet mascara. And what has surprised me recently was that Monsieur Big, which I really didn't care for initially, that I have since discovered I really, really like. Now this is doing better than the initial application that I used before in that original video, the first video. I'm liking it better. And you know, I go up under on the base of the lash, on top of the tips, and then I go over the top and I comb it through and out, fan it out. I use the tip of the wand on the ends, inner and outer, to coat, separate and flare. So that is better than I remember the first application. Now I'm going to do the Cils Booster on the left eye. I will say that when I use the lash primer, my inner lashes are more pronounced and flared out. I do the same thing with the lash primer. From the base under, the tips, over and through, comb through, and the edges, the end for the flared out inner and outer edge of the lash. I'll let that dry a little bit because you don't, well, I guess it depends on you. What's the point of sticking the lash primer in the mascara? Because once you get it on the wand, then it starts to mix up and go in there, and it might change the consistency of the mascara a little bit. Now let's see if this does anything for me on this side. So put some on my face, and you know what our secret is, right? We let it dry. Then we flake it off. So this Cils Booster, maybe I just need to let it settle for once, just for this mascara, because it's performing better than it did when I first used it, I think. I'm liking it much more than I did on first application. Now, I already have naturally curly lashes. Well, I have a curl. They're not naturally curly, like they don't. Another thing, drop tie. Not gonna get distracted. But it seems to be performing better with this lash primer. In which case, well, for me, it's performing better, I think, with the lash primer. They should just infuse the lash primer into the freaking mascaras. Let's go back on the other side without, what you call it, I'm going back over this lash without dipping back in. Not flaking off or anything like that. I did it again, so I'll let that side dry. Good God. But yeah, I think the lash primer, which is what it was intended to do, is bumping up the application or the effect of the mascara. So just like, if you have a formula that does that, why not infuse it into your mascaras? Why make me buy a whole nother $30 product, which that's a mini, so that's a deluxe, a sample, so I didn't pay for that, but because I don't think I have I might have a deluxe. I might have got it in something of the Cils Booster, but why not just make it all great, you know? Don't make me buy 2 or 3 things to get the effect of what it should do in the first place. Okay, so that's that. Lashes and liner. Now, well, not last but not least, second to last thing. I'm sure this brand no longer exists. This was like a flash in the pan. This is Item Beauty. It was some influencer chick or whatever. I can't remember what her name is. But This is the Item Beauty Brow Chow Ultra Fine Brow Definer. And I just checked out what the color is, and it's deep brunette. Now, I used to dye my hair like a auburn, like a deep copper auburn color, but it was deep. It wasn't like bright or anything like that. And I would go for more brunette type eyebrow products. So I'm surprised this is deep brunette, because it doesn't come off as deep as brunette. It has that type of a brush, not the traditional spoolie. Let's see if I can get it off with this type. No, this is an actual brush. I need like a spool. Well, if I keep doing that, it might take the actual makeup off. You know, it's not like, okay, I'll leave that alone. See, I see that it kind of like took the makeup off a little bit. Take this and try to, I don't think nothing over here. I hope it's the same color. Just oh Lord. Oh Lord. I shouldn't have did that. You can see like I added extra color. Oh my goodness. Oh well. So we're gonna take this brush. This eyeliner. This brow liner. Oh, I really like it though. Like I could just put it on. It glides right on. Goes where I want it to go. And this is what I've been using. And I like that it's an angle. What I've been using the last couple days. Like I've been wearing just brow, maybe a blush, and a lippy to work. It has that type of angle tip. Is that like any kind of brunette to you? To me, it was like a deep dark brown, which is brunette. Well, I guess when I think of brunettes, but when I think of brunette, it's more like Pam Ewan on Dallas, Sue Ellen type deal. What was your favorite, Dallas, or was it Dallas, the Colbys, Falcon Crest, Knots Landing? Which was your favorite? My favorites would have been Dallas and then Knots Landing. It's hard to find Knots Landing reruns or shows available. But Dallas, I typically can find, and I will rewatch. When I say the whole season, well, toward the end, it's like, probably not when Bobby wasn't there, and then when JR was running around marrying that Cali chick, and that some of that stuff got, like his son James showed up, and the April Stevens thing. It was kind of like, okay. And her sister, what was her sister's name? It was April and I don't know. And then they had Barbara Eden on there at one point, so that was cool to see her and Larry Hagman together after I Dream of Jeannie, when they were on the show back in the 60s. Do y'all remember that? So were you an I Dream of Jeannie or Bewitched person? I was an I Dream of Jeannie more than Bewitched. It was something about Samantha. She used to irk me a little bit. She used to irk me a little bit. Dang Samantha. And then I liked the first Darren, but not the second Darren. I didn't like Darren number 2. I did not. So I'm going to try to see if I can find this Item Beauty brand online somewhere, because I have come to really like third time's the charm. I've come to really like this brow pencil. The color, the application, the staying power, the opacity. Very, very nice. Last but not least, Just showed you this in my small haul, the Anastasia Dose of Colors haul. Instead of picking and choosing between the other colors, I'm just going to use this little kit. The kit is $22.75. Still $22.75 if you are interested. This is the Pucker Up Lip Trio, full size matte lipstick, full size lip velvet, and a mini lip liner. 3 colorways. I picked the blush brown, crush, and malt trio. Now, both lippies are very opaque. I don't know why they think you would want to put one over the other, unless you were like doing an ombre lip. But yeah, so I don't know what I want to do here, because this is the lippy, the lipstick. That is the lip velvet. I really like the packaging on this. This is some awesome packaging. I really am a fan of this packaging. I wish they had more colors so I could get more packaging. Now, my lip balm from all the talking and drinking has rubbed off. This is the liner, and it is in malt. So that's the liner. Okay, and on me, it's like a red brown. It's soft and creamy. Can you even see what I'm doing? Nice, soft and creamy. And that lip balm gone. Now, what do I want to do here? I've used their actual lipsticks before, but I've never used a lip velvet. So let's do the lip velvet, and this is in the color Crush. It's not as light in person as it appears on camera. It does have that cake batter vanilla smell. It's a moussey. Try not to put. It's like a powder. Woo. A powder effect. So more than this should have came with a lip gloss. One way or the other, either with the lip velvet or lip gloss, or the matte lipstick. So that's what that looks like, liner and lip velvet. This will last forever, because, I mean, this come quick, because I just like dab and then I smush my lips together. So if this was a color I loved, this will last forever. Unfortunately, it's not a color I love. Just trying to make this side bright as the other side. I love it, you know. But it's comfortable. It didn't dry down directly on my hand when I did a swatch. Maybe it was too thick. But this seems to... You definitely want to have exfoliated lips, because I think I have a dry patch over here and it's gathering right there. As you can see, like it's hanging on there. And I don't know, it seems like the foundation is cracking in my marionette lines. Which could be fixed with the spray I'm going to spray. This line is longer than that line. And I was going to put some more on eyeliner, but I didn't put it in this thing. I don't feel like running through here and rummaging through there. So, just for giggles, we're going to put the blush brown matte lipstick on top. So you see what that looks like. Let's just put it on the bottom, see what happens. I like the tone of this a little bit better. The other one is more, I guess, peachy. This has a little pink in it, more pink in it. The blush part, I guess. Smells like cake batter, vanilla. The tone is not that far off. As you can see, I only put it on this side. But it's just a little bit more flattering, I think. And it looks a little bit more creamy than that velvet. So, let's do the whole thing. And it smoothed out that dry patch. I'm gonna smush again. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a little bit more liner on. And with the lipstick on, it's easier to blend out the lip liner. All right, I'll use this mist again. Turn this fan on. It's good for something, huh? In addition to keeping me cool, dry this face down quicker. Do you hear the little fan running? So what do you think about the look so far? Now, let me get this brush. And try to meld that back in together a little bit better on that line. I mean, it's gonna happen because they're there, but yeah. So this is the look. Which side do you think is the dose of colors? Which side do you think is the Lancome? Can you tell simply by the color scheme itself, application? Well, if you guessed that this side was the dose of colors, you're wrong. This side is the Lancome. And this side, ladies and gentlemen, is the dose of colors. And that's why I said if I would have showed you the color schemes prior to the reveal, you would have been able to tell immediately which one was which. So, this is good for those that don't want a lot of oomph, a lot of va-va-va-voom. A good there, not there situation. You know, you got a little something on. You can dramatize it by putting a little bit more depth in the crease like I did, so you can see it a little bit better. Maybe put a little bit more of the lighter, that green on the lid. Maybe wet it, I'm not sure, to get more opacity. But this one out the gate, loved it. I loved the application. I saw I kept putting on that initial lid shade, the green. Beautiful. I like the tonality, how it gradiates, how it is there, but it doesn't look like it's bold enough that it's not like crazy. Not that I mind crazy, but yeah. Again, I'm gonna have to try to find that Item Beauty Deep Brunette, brunette rather, brown pencil. The lippy is great. It's $22.75. It's a trio, 3 colorways. I like the matte lipstick more than the lip velvet in color only. I think the lipstick is a little bit more flattering to my skin tone. I could have went a different route on the blush, but I think this is good enough that it's not like fighting with the lip or the eye. I think that's a good decision. You can really see it on the apple of my cheek, which makes it more look like a highlighter. Even the topaz highlighter I put on there but not there. That contour, which was actually that setting powder from Fenty and Coffee, showed up. I gotta tweak that because I'm not big on contouring. I used a bronzer for Anastasia in Mahogany for my actual face powder because I'm not yet a Meta bronzer that works for me in the way that it's supposed to. The mascara, pleasantly surprised after second usage that is better than I remember. Definitely better with the lash primer. Foundation was nice. Again, if you want to share it out, spray your face beforehand. No, put it on, and then spray your face and then buff it out. Maybe buff it out with a sponge, wet sponge. Application with the regular dry brush was okay. That Maybelline situation, take it or leave it. It's not a big, it didn't do one thing or the other. And then the gripping primer for the face, like Milk's primer, was didn't, it actually gripped, unlike the, what you call it, the Fenty Hydra Grip primer they got going out. That didn't have no grip to it, but that e.l.f. did. I had to put more on because I would put it somewhere and it didn't want to move too much. So this is the look. Thanks so much for watching. Again, this is my Dose of Color side. This is the Lancome side. Which do you prefer? Did you guess it right? Are you an I Dream a Dreamy person or Bewitched? Or which Dynasty, Dallas, Falcon Crest, Knots Landing, the Colbys, which one was your favorite? I'll see you in another video. Have a great day.